OTAN, Outreach and Technical Assistance Network.
Hi, everybody. My name is Audrey Deerdorf, and I am one of the OTAN's subject matter experts. I'm going to share my screen right now. So for those of you who have not met me before, uh, I have been working for Sweetwater Union High School District Adult Education for 30 years. September will be 30 years. I've worked all different from doing the intake, from teaching ESL, teaching transition class for high school. And right now I do all of the publicity, social media, outreach, recruitment for adult ed. So I'm using Canva constantly to create social media posts and flyers that go out into the community. But I'm also one of the OTAN subject matter experts. And so because I use Canva a lot, they asked me to go ahead and teach kind of this second part. So if you missed session one was all about how to create an account, how to basically do the basics of choosing a template and things like that. So if you don't have an account, what you need to do is go to canva.com and you're going to create an account with your work or school email. So if you work for a public education or an educational institution and Canva recognizes that it is an educational one, then you will get what's called an educational account. And you'll have a lot of free things that you wouldn't have with just a free account. So that's how you would go ahead and do that, Lori. I saw your message in the chat. So let me go ahead and, oh, here's a little message that I recorded for you. It's not my voice, if you can tell. Hold on.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you for coming to Creating with Canva, Scintillating Slides.
Were you able to see that?
We can see it and hear it.
Perfect. Did you see the lips moving? Okay. So thank you for that, everybody. I appreciate you helping me out. So let me go on. So that was the video. So let me just play a little bit more.
Little eyelids flutter cause you're dreaming, so I tuck you in, turn on your favorite night light. To you, everything's funny. You got nothing to
So if you were able to see the transitions, which I hope you were, then you saw them move. So you can add the transitions to the video. You could add the music and also the timing, like how long are you going to stay on this one frame? And so that's kind of more for video presentations. So today we're going to focus more on maybe for the classroom, or if you're administrator or in a leadership position, maybe how to do use these slides for professional development for your staff. Okay. So real quick, I just want to take a temperature of the room. We have about 2 hours together, so it's nice to know who's here. If you could either in the chat or if you have the reactions, go ahead and let me know, were you here at the first workshop called Canva Basics? And so you would just go ahead and either type in the chat yes, or you can type in no. Lori, to get the account, you're going to have to go to canva.com, create an account and use your school email. And then it should, fill in all the information and you should be able to get your account. Okay, so Alex wasn't here, Ryan wasn't here, but some of the rest of you were. Okay. Oh, so Linda, if you were here at the last one, then you should be able to sign into Canva with the whatever you created last time. So just put in whatever email you used. You should already have it. Oh, the last half. I see. Okay. So yeah, go to canva.com and go ahead and do that for me. Put in, create the account, put in your school email, follow all the instructions, and you should be able to go for it. Okay. And if you said yes, I want to know, what did you create during or after the first workshop? If this is your first time here, right, you didn't come before, what have you created in Canva in the past? So in the chat, if you would go ahead and type in all the things that you've created with Canva. You can be as detailed or not as detailed as you like. So, flyers and QR codes, student notices, infographics and posters, awesome. Any others? Okay. Well, this is going to be all about presentations. So I noticed nobody said presentation. So hopefully this is going to be new to you. Most of you probably use Google Slides. Most of you probably use Microsoft PowerPoint. So it's very similar, but it has a lot of content that you normally won't get in Google Slides or Microsoft. There are a couple of licensing issues, so I will talk about that. But most of the time, if you are presenting for a classroom or you're presenting for your staff, you're not going to run into those licensing issues. So let me go on. Here is today's agenda. So our objectives for today. Number one, we're going to look at how to find a template that's right for you. Then we're going to learn how to revise and edit that template. You know, all the videos, all the pictures and things like that. And then if you want to add your own media, videos, photos, GIFs and stuff, we're going to talk about that. And then the last thing is how to share your presentation. As I said previously, this is a follow along webinar. So I would like you to have a second device or be able to split your screen and follow what I'm doing so that you can practice it. And then we're also going to stop and have practice time. So once I demonstrate it or model it, then I will give you time to go ahead and do your own thing so that hopefully by the end of this, you're actually going to have something that you have a good basic template and that you can just add the bells and whistles after this is over. So that's today's agenda and our objectives. Okay, so we're going to go straight into find a template. If you do have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. But when we stop for your time to practice, I'll also take questions and you can unmute at that time and ask your questions, or you can go ahead and put them in the chat, whatever you prefer. So finding a template. So I'm also going to model what I'm showing you on the screen. So this is the blue banner that you'll see at the home page of your Canva account. You're going to see all these icons on the bottom of the blue banner. What you want to do is select the presentations icon from your home page. So I will show you what that looks like right now. So here is my home page, and I'm just going to go and click or select presentations. And notice how everything at the bottom changed. So if you'd like, you can click on the different icons, right, of all the different things you can create. But once you touch or select the presentations button, you're going to notice that everything is about presentations on the bottom. Okay. You're going to find from the presentations homepage, you can select different types of blank presentations. So you have the widescreen version. You have a talking presentation, which allows you to basically say you wanted to do an orientation for students, but a lot of times maybe you have an online program. So you could create an orientation with you talking and explaining your programs, and then it turns it into a video and you can send that to the students to watch for their orientation. So you could do something like that. You have the mobile first, which is really cool. It's something I've never seen before, where it actually makes it long. So it makes it 8x10, 8x11, whatever the letter is. And so it's made for the mobile phone. So it's in that size. So it's not your typical. So that's pretty cool. You have the old standard. Before we had widescreen, you have a brainstorming presentation, and also if you want to create your own games, there's a presentation tool for that. So at the top right corner of each presentation type, you can select this search icon to see more templates, or you can scroll down, and when you scroll down, you're going to see a lot more recommendations. So let me show you on my homepage. So here are the types that I were talking about, the brainstorm, the games. If I scroll down, there's different things that they give you in terms of like tutorials or things like that, different templates here. Now, if I wanted to do this one, you see how when I hover over it, the top right corner is that search. And when I click the search icon, it will open up a new page and it will show you all of these different templates that you have here. Okay, this might be a little bit overwhelming, so I don't suggest you do it this way. But if you wanted to go and looking and you're like, I'm not sure, let's see what catches my eye, then this would be a perfect way to do that. Okay. All right, going on. So I would like for you, if you're following along and you're able to follow along, to go ahead and select the 16:9 widescreen presentation template. So this is, again, what it looks like. Let me go back. It's this first one. So all you're going to do is select it where it says create blank, and you would select it, and out comes a blank screen. So go ahead and do that for me. And then I'll go to the next slide as you're doing that. So when you do that, you will find that there's a column that pops out on the left-hand side. So I'm going to do it with my already created because it's the same, right? So if I go to design, this is where I'm going to find what opened, right? So it's under the design tool on the left-hand side, and you're going to look at templates, layouts, and style tabs. So the templates, these are what's already created for you. You can browse by scrolling down, and you're able to edit whatever a template you find. The Styles tab, which is right below the search bar, if I select the Styles tab, this is going to give you different color combinations, color palettes, font sets. And so you can look at and try and design it from scratch if you didn't want to use a template. Okay, it is a little bit more difficult, but if you are the type that is a designer, painter, artistic, then this might be the great option for you. The templates shown are usually by whatever you put here in the search bar, right? So we'll discuss a little bit more of that, but I wanted to show you this layouts. This is a beta. So it's basically beta means testing mode. So if you already have your template open that you want and you select the layouts tab, it's going to give you suggested layouts so that you can change it to different layouts. So for example, if I choose this first layout, look how my content changes. See that? So now all of that first page changed. So it wasn't all of my slides, it was just the first page. So now if I want to revert back to what I had before, I'm going to go here to the top bar, the blue bar, and do the undo button or the undo icon. So I'm going to select that. to go back to how I used it. So that's perfect if you kind of want to change your layouts. They have different types and you can scroll through and look. They are testing this. It's not perfect. So if you ever have feedback, they always want to hear your feedback about it. Okay. Okay, so now let's go back to your design. So you guys are probably already there, and I'm under the templates tab. So in the search bar at the top of this column, type in the keyword or words of the design style you're looking for. So you can type in education, technology, fancy, fun, dark, whatever it is. And then if you want to be more specific, you can also type the purpose of your presentation. So for example, if I'm a math teacher and I want to teach fractions, then I can go ahead and put teach fractions. Sometimes it'll come up if they have it, sometimes they won't. It just depends on what is in their database, okay? So you just keep kind of how you would in Google search to get to what you need. Same thing here. Now, I want you to always try and add presentation to the end, because without the presentation word at the end of your search words, sometimes it'll just come out with a presentation that has only one slide. And that's not bad because you can add slides to that one. But if you wanted to have the entire template of like 14 slides with different photos and things, then you want to put presentation at the end. So I'm going to go ahead and hit my enter button on my keyboard. And now you can see all the fractions that they have. So they have one with pizza fractions, fractions presentation, mathematics presentation, okay? To preview the slides, what slides there are, I'm going to hover over the middle of the little slide presentation, and you can tell at the bottom left, it's 6 of 10, 7 of 10. So there's 10 slides total. To the top right corner, there's your 3 dots. If you click that, you're going to get a little bit more information about the presentation, who it was made by, some of the keywords. You can star it if you like it so much and you want to keep using it, as well as the style report. So what colors is used in there, and then you can also only apply the style. You don't have to apply the actual slides. So if you just like the colors, you can apply just the colors or the style. Okay. So let me show you if I didn't put presentation on here and I just did teaching fractions. Notice that some of these, like the science one, when I hover over it, there's no one of whatever number. Okay, so, and this one is more like a video, so it has a timer on it. So anything that has a play button is more of a video type. So that's why I suggest putting presentations if you'd like. Oh, hold on one second. Sorry, I had to sneeze. Sorry about that. Okay, and like I said, you select the 3 dots to see more information. And after you browse through whichever ones you like, you want to go ahead and select to apply. So if I wanted this pizza fractions and I chose it, okay, I can either choose them one at a time, maybe just the ones I wanted. You can select the plus button, or you can apply all 10 pages, depending on what you want. So here's the pizza one. Sorry, let me do this. So I did all 10 slides, so you can see what it looks like with the pizza fractions, if you're teaching fractions. Hopefully you guys had lunch, and so the pizza's not tempting you because pizza will be in and out through this presentation. Okay. Okay. Now there is a new feature called Magic Design. So if you are a fan of AI, you might like this. It's still in beta mode, meaning it's testing. So it might not come out exactly how you like, but say some of these are not exactly what you're looking for. So you can always ask Magic Design to design something for you. So you go to your design icon. I'm going to go back to the original. So, and it'll be the first thing that pops up. So if I click my Magic Design, which is describe the presentation you want, and then they're going to write and design a draft for you. So if I said, teach fractions using a pizza theme or something like that, and I then type in enter, it's creating my presentation. Okay, and there you have it. So you have the template styles on the left, and then you can scroll. So this one is selected. It has 9 slides, as you can see in the bottom left corner. And now the preview is on the right-hand side, and I can just scroll through, and there's pizza. It's not kind of like what was the other pizza fraction, but again, you can edit and revise. And then you're going to see all different types as you scroll down. So just a way to kind of do your own thing if you'd like and have AI help you. Again, it's in testing mode. So if you do find any problems, you can always feedback to Canva, or you can use your Canva assistant and ask or email them. Okay. So now it is your turn. So we're going to pause here for 5 minutes. We're going to let you go ahead and play and choose a template you like. You don't have to do the pizza template, or so whatever your goal was in terms of coming to this workshop about what presentation you wanted, and add the pages you want, or you can use Magic Design. So you're going to have 5 minutes. And during this 5 minutes, I'm going to actually present within Canva. And so, and I'm going to give you a 5-minute timer. It's not going to have a ding at the end. So I'll probably give you, hey, 30 seconds left. So you want to make sure you keep your volume on, but you can mute and, turn off your camera if you'd like, which most of you have your cameras off, and take 5 minutes and just to play around. I'm here for questions. So if you have any questions, please feel free to unmute and ask as people are playing. So let me go ahead and present, and your 5 minutes starts now. Sorry, I don't have any nice music for you. I guess I could have added audio to the 5 minutes, but I did not do that because we already have like 50 some slides on my presentation. Any questions? Through this process, if you have any questions, you can again put them in the chat or just unmute and ask. I am here. Okay, we have 2 more minutes to go. So if you have already selected your template, if you would type done in the chat, just so I can get to see if we can move on a little bit faster or if we need more time. Okay, so I see that Joyce is done, Lorna's done, Linda's done, Betty is done. Alex is done, awesome. Okay, so another minute. Alex or Lori, if you guys are okay. Ryan and Lori, if you can let me know if you get done. If not, that's fine. If you don't mind us forging ahead after the minute is up. Or if you have any questions or if you ran into any snags, please let me know. We can try and quickly troubleshoot. Okay, so Lori, were you able to make an account? Okay, so Lori, what I could do is schedule with you maybe a one-on-one that we can go through the basics together, or maybe it's something you can call into OTAN to help. Then we could do that. I don't want you to be frustrated if you can't get on and try to do. So, you know, if you just want to sit back and watch, and then at the end, maybe I can get your information and we can try and help you one-on-one. Okay. I want to make sure you get what you need. Okay, 1 minute is up. So I'm going to do that. So let's go on. We're going to talk about how to revise and edit the template that you chose. Okay, so that's our next objective. So on this slide, you can see these are the main tools that you'll be using to edit and revise your template. You're going to be using the Elements tool, the Upload tool, which we're actually going to cover in the next section under Add Media Content. You can do text. There's a text tool and a draw tool. So the draw tool is fairly new. So if you've used Canva before, but you haven't seen this draw tool, it's pretty simple, but we will go over that. Okay, so for the Elements tool, if you select it, you're going to find many different things that you can either add to your template. So over here on my left column, if I select the Elements tool, it opens up the larger column, and you can see there's recently used. Here's your link, lines and shapes. I'm going to scroll down, graphics, stickers, photos, videos, audio, charts, and it goes on and on and on and on. Okay, so there are so many things that you can add to your template. Now, also, you're going to see a search bar here at the top. You can enter the words that you want, keywords of whatever element you're looking for. Or under this search bar, you're going to see that there are arrows or carets, and you can look at the different suggestions. So they have arrows, lines, circles, squares, hearts, and you can just use this to keep going and going until it comes to an end. Okay, so then, or you can scroll down like I showed you and pick from the different categories. And then if you wanted to see, here's the photos category, and I can click or select see all right here. and then you can see everything. Now, again, this search bar is going to be your favorite friend in Canva so that you can, instead of having to scroll through thousands of pictures, you can narrow it down to what you're actually looking for, okay? Now, one thing to note, if the element is marked with a crown, it's a pro feature. So that means you have to have a paid subscription. If it is, let me go back to the elements. If there's this EDU right here, it's a graduation hat, that's the education feature. So usually though, if you have the education account, which is why you signed up with your school email, then the pro feature actually works on some of them, not all of them. But you can see here the EDU, they have that little hat on the bottom right corner. If it's a crown, then you know it's a pro feature. Go ahead and try it and see if it will let you. But I've noticed in using it that most of the time it lets me, okay? Okay, also when you click inside the search bar, you'll notice that you're going to have a lot more. So you're going to have all the recent things that you looked for, as well as the categories that was shown. So you can go ahead and click, say if you want stickers or graphics or tables, okay? So you would select that like that, and then it would give you all the lines and shapes. To go back, you have this left arrow that you're going to just select, and it takes you right back to where you were. If you type a keyword, the bar is going to show a filter icon. So I'm going to keep with pizza. There we go. So I'm going to type pizza, and I'm going to hit my enter button on my keyboard. And notice how there's now on the right-hand side of the search bar, a filter icon. So if I select my filter icon, I can change and tell them, be more specific, hey, I want a black pizza or I want a red pizza. The orientation, if you want it square, vertical, or if you want it animated, okay? Or cutouts, which means there's no background to it, okay? Price, here's the pro, there's that crown thing. And then there's the free feature, okay? So you can do that. If you want to clear your search, you're just going to hit that X, which is to the left of the filter icon, and then it will clear your search, okay? So let me go ahead and type in pizza again, enter. So here are some of the graphics. So once I find the element I want, all I have to do is click on it and it shows up, okay? I can delete it because there's this little bar that we're gonna be talking about later. I can delete it, or I can click and drag to wherever I want it. Now, be careful, because if you click it to the edge, it then becomes the background of your slide. So if you don't want it as a background, just be careful and keep a hold of your picture before you place it. This is where I want it. I'm going to let go of my mouse key, and there it is. Okay. Okay, so now it's going to be your turn. We're going to pause here so you can search and choose an element you like and add it to one of your template slides. So you can just add it wherever. So for example, here, if I wanted to add, let's see, maybe I want to put a heart in there. Okay, here's my graphic. I'm going to click it once, it'll show up, and I can just place it wherever I want it, just like that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and present within Canva and give you your 5 minutes. Again, I am here for any questions that you may have, or you can unmute and ask a question. And then Shadaya, I think is your name. Welcome. If I didn't see, hi, welcome.
Hi, I'm
Hi.
Shadia, and I'm sorry I'm joining late.
No, that's okay.
I really wanted to, learn this from the beginning, but I just missed initial 30 minutes.
Mhm.
So would it be possible, like, would you be sending us the recording so that I can like catch up on the missed material?
Yes, so what'll happen is OTAN will edit and
Mhm.
make sure that the recording is accessible, and
Mhm.
then they will post it on their website. It will take a while, but
Mhm.
at the end of this presentation, I do have the slides, so you can look at the slides from the beginning. But
Mhm.
basically, we went over if you had an account, like to sign in using your school email, and then we talked about how to find a template, and now we're talking about how to edit a template. Have you used Canva before?
I want to use actually. Yeah, I have been using regular Google Slides, but now I want to make it more dramatic.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm familiar with it, but I have to explore it more.
Okay.
You know.
So if you have an account, go ahead and sign into your account, and
Mhm,
then you can follow along as we go through this if you have that ability.
mhm. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Thank you.
So Linda has a question. Can you arrange the text after the fast of moving the pizza image in the slide? Yes, you can. So let me turn on the timer on my phone so I can get out of presentation mode and show it to you. Okay, so we have 3 minutes left. Let me stop this. Okay, so notice, let me do the pizza. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and put in that pizza slice that I love so much. If you didn't all know that I like pizza. So I'm gonna go ahead and move it. Oops, it's not what I wanted to do. Okay, see how it's trying to put it in the frame. Okay, so here you see how this is, it's different. So when on the pizza, it'll show me the box around the pizza that I can then edit, or I can go to the actual words and I can actually go ahead and edit the words, even though the pizza's in the way. If the pizza's in the way, you can always move it up and still edit your text. So hopefully, Linda, I was able to answer your question. If I didn't get it right or you still have more questions, please let me know. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Okay, we have another minute or so. Any other questions?
I might be moving ahead too far, but I have a question for you, Audrey. In the case of putting in some type of element, is there a way to like change its opacity or making it lighter behind things? Is that something possible?
So Joyce, I hear you, but it's really muffled, so I wasn't able to get all the details. I think if you would type it in the chat for me, I'd appreciate it so I could get the whole gist of what you were asking. But many of these are editable. I think you were asking if they could be edited. So I am going to show you how to edit photos and images. So hopefully that answered your question. If not, please write it in the chat because it was really muffled, your question. Sorry. Okay, thanks, Joyce. Okay. So we have another 30 seconds. Hopefully you guys have already looked for an element and put it into your slides. Okay. All right. So now, now that you've had a chance to go ahead and pull in an element onto your template, let's talk about how to revise, whether it's a photo or image that was already placed in your template, or if you want to edit or revise the template that you brought in from the Elements tool. Okay, so I'm going to show you this in larger screen. When your element is selected at the top, there's going to be different options to help you edit depending on what kind of element you pulled in. So almost each and every element has a different toolbar. There's 2 examples at the top here. So let me show you. This one is a photo, okay? Its editing is very limited. So I selected my photo, and you're going to notice here is the edit photo toolbar at the top left, to the right of your design tools. Okay, so you have an edit photo, you have a flip. Here is where the info button comes in handy, is the licensing part. So if I click the licensing, it will tell me my toolbar is a PNG. It was uploaded by me 4 days ago. And I can add tags, so it makes it easier to search for the content. And I can actually move it to a folder if I wanted to. Projects, you can add folders within Canva. You can also create a new folder. So this works very similar to Google Slides, right? Or Google products. I'm not too familiar with Microsoft, but I think Microsoft does the same thing if you're online, right? So if you have the online version of Microsoft. Okay, you can also animate your photo. So if I rise it, see how it comes from the top? Let me try that again. Rise. I can pan. So if I just scroll over, notice how the photo actually changes as I go through these 3. So the rise, the pan, the fade. Okay. I'm going to remove that animation, but you can do that with the animate part. There's page animations and photo animation. So you can just make the photo move, but the page doesn't. Or you can make the whole page fade from one transition to another. So from one slide to another. Okay. You can also change the position. So here is where you can arrange it. We want it at the top, the middle, the bottom, the width of where it is, or the X and Y axis. So depending on how detailed you want to get, like this revise and edit text box, I actually made all of my titles from 40 to 130 on the X and Y. What do they call it? Angles or lines, X and Y lines. So I made sure that they were all the same. Joyce, did you have a question? Oh, okay. Now there's also the layers. So if you wanted to position it, they layer on top of one another. So like the Linda the pizza, you can layer it over or below. You can also arrange it, like take the pizza and make it go to the back so that you have more access to the editing tools for your text. Okay, so there's that portion too. There's also a transparency, so you can make it less transparent, almost to invisible, all the way to the strongest, which is 100. Okay. You have a copying of the style, and you have a lock position. So if you don't want it to move, accidentally move, you can always lock it. Okay. Now, when you do edit photo, that's what I just showed you, I think. I showed you, here's the edit photo. So when you select the edit photo, this is the window that's going to pop up on the left. Okay, this is an updated feature. They have an old experience. So if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, you can look at the old ones, but the old ones is not as good as the new one. So I would suggest keeping it here. So you have a background remover. So it's basically like making it a cutout. So you would click on this. See, it shows the crown. So it means it's a pro, it means it's a pro feature, but I can use it with my education account. So let me show you how that works. I'm going to click on BG remover. It's going to take, so I had it selected. You can notice how all the white in the background is now gone. Okay, so if I wanted to revert back, I'm just going to go up here to my blue toolbar, the undo button, and select the undo button, and there comes back my white. Okay, so it has that feature. It has the magic eraser. So if I click magic eraser, I can go ahead and do my brush size. There's my brush size. Maybe I'll make it a little bit. And I'm going to take it and maybe I want to erase this part here. I have to be so careful, right? Like that. And then it will, so all I did was click and drag over and notice how it got rid of that. So I can reset the erasings as well so that it goes back to the original, but that's your magic eraser. Maybe some of you have that on your cell phone now too. Magic Edit is another AI feature. It's in beta mode, so they're just testing it right now. But if I wanted to select that, I'm going to brush over whatever image I want. So maybe I'll brush over so I'm clicking and dragging, holding. So to make it, you can either, if you have what do you call it? A touch screen, you can do it with your finger, right? But, and then I want to describe what to generate. Okay. So by clicking continue, what do you want to generate in the brushed area? So maybe I want a calzone instead of a pizza. Okay. Hopefully I'm not making you hungry. And then, you know, you can decide if you want it. They give you like different suggestions if you wanted it. What happened to my calzone? And then I'm going to just select generate. Let's see how good this is. I'm not too impressed with this AI, but ooh, look at all these. So this is what they came up with. So notice how it went ahead and filled it in with a calzone. So you can do something like that if you wanted to modify your photo and add something else to it by using Magic Edit. Okay. Now, you also have, so this is under effects. Your tools are under effects, as well as your filters are under effects, and more effects. So shadows, autofocus, blur, right? And then you have an adjust tab at the top middle. And this is where you can adjust the color, the balance, the texture of the actual photo. Okay, and this is kind of new too. You can auto adjust it. So if I click auto adjust, notice how it made it a little bit darker. I don't know if you could see that. So I'm going to reset it. Watch the photo on my slide. See how it's not as popping. So I'm going to go ahead and pop it again by auto adjust. And there it is. Okay. And then you can also, the third tab at the top is crop. So you can do it freeform where you just take the corners, click and drag to wherever you want it, right? Like this. Or you can do here 1 by 1, 16 by 9. There's all these shapes, okay? You can also rotate it. So if I wanted to rotate it to the right or to the left, okay, by clicking and dragging the slider. You can auto, oops, I want it back, okay? If I don't want any of those, again, I can just cancel because I haven't clicked done. I can cancel and go back to the original. Okay. I think it still has the brightness though. Now, let's talk about images. So this was a photo. How do I know it was a photo? So I'm going to go back up to my eye, the info button at the toolbar, and notice it's a PNG. So it's a photo. It's not a clip art or anything like that. So to change the actual colors within the picture is very hard. So, but not so with a graphic. So if I click on my pizza is a graphic, it's a clip art. I'm going to go up to my eye info. Notice that it's free. So this other eye is going to tell you about the licensing. So you always want to check on your photos or your graphics if it's a free one or if it has some type of restriction. A lot of them on this Canva website can be restricted for commercial use, but not if you're teaching. Like if you're not using it and putting it into a commercial or into, a flyer or something to promote your school or your district or your company. So you can look at all the licensing issues here. If it says free, you are good to go. Okay. And notice that it says clip art. You can star it and things like that. See more. Okay. Now, when you select an edible image, you can change the individual colors of this clip art. So I can change the cheese color. I can change the pepper color, the pepperoni color, the crust color. How do I know? When I click on it, usually there'll be a color palette that comes up. This color palette represents each color within the clip art. Okay, so to change the color of the pepperoni, I notice that the pepperoni is red. So I will go and click on the red box in the toolbar, and then I can change just the color of the pepperoni. So if you do not have this color palette, that means it's probably not editable. Okay, the image or the photo is not editable, because when it is editable, you will have the color palette. Okay, now let me go ahead and show you in real time at the top. So not in my slide, but at the top of Canva, here are the colors. So I selected my pizza. I'm going to the red color and I'm going to select it. When I do that, the color palette comes open. Now, I can choose from what colors are in the document. Now watch the pepperoni on the slide. I'm going to change it to this wine color. And when I select the wine color, the pepperoni changes color. There you go. Woohoo. Say I want pink pepperoni, or I'm not sure what this color is, but whatever color this is, and I'm going to select it, and notice how the pepperoni changes. So you can do that for each color within this graphic. Okay. The color palette also has different photo colors. So I can change the pepperoni to purple or the default colors at all. At the bottom, say there was a bunch of pepperoni on different slides or whatever, you could change it all if you wanted to. So if I click change all, anything that was this color red is now going to change to purple, which I don't think I have on here, and it changed colors across all pages. Oh wait, no, I don't want to do that. Okay, so all really easy. It's so easy to make a mistake in this one, right? An error. It's so easy because all you have to do is go up to your toolbar at the top blue bar and click undo, and it changes. And then I'm going to do it one more time to change the purple back to wherever it was. And I'm going to go back to my original color. There it is. Okay, so that's how you are able to edit the actual clip art or image that is editable. Now, you can also crop it like we showed you before, or flip it. So here's your flip option. You can flip horizontally, so it faces the other way, or you can flip it vertically in case you wanted it upside down pizza. Okay, and of course you can animate it. So again, your animation, you have an element animation or a page animation. So I can pan it, I can wipe it, drift it, however you want that element to change. Again, page animations is for the entire page, element is just for the element selected. Okay. Now to edit the image, I'm going to click this edit image button. And notice how this edit image is different from edit photo. So edit photo had all the effects, but because the image is usually a clip art, you sometimes have to add, these are all apps within Canva. So you would have to sign in and look. But the smart markups, smart mockups are interesting. That means it will take that pizza slide and put it somewhere. So here's a mug design. And so it put the pizza on the mug. Okay, so if you want to do that, you can make your own shirt. There you go. There's your pizza shirt or hoodie. So what this is good for is if you find a graphic that's free that you want to change into a logo and you wanted to create a shirt for your school, for your company, you could do something like that. And then you can actually edit the image to the colors you want, create your own logo, and then put it on things like this. That's for smart mockups, but yeah. So there's that. So there's not much editing in the edit image button, but there is editing the colors of an image that's editable. Okay. Now, last thing before we practice is this toolbar here. So when you click on a photo or image, like this one is an actual photo, I'm going to click on it or select it. This will pop up. You can duplicate the photo and pull it over. Okay, so all I did was hit the plus button. It kind of duplicates over just like it does in Google Slides or Microsoft PowerPoint. Or you can delete it. So as long as this is selected, this is what we'll delete by selecting the delete button. Select it and delete. Or you can click the more button, the more icon, and it will open what you see here. Copy, copy style, paste, duplicate, delete. This is where the layer. So if I want to bring it to the front to go over words. So for example, if I had it, I'm going to click and drag it here. Notice how it's above the words or in front of the words, but I want it to be in back of the words. I'm going to go to layer and I'm going to send to back. And you see how it is now the words are in front of the actual box. Okay. So there you can do all of that. Okay. So now it's your turn. You have 5 minutes. We're going to let you play with your with your elements to edit them, play with all the editing features that I showed you, try and find an editable. So usually editable, not editable graphic. So usually you will find those in graphics. So usually these graphics here, and I'm going to select see all, are the ones that you can edit the colors and things like that. So that's where you want to find your editable elements. Okay, so let me go ahead and start. And again, if you have any questions, you can go ahead and put them in the chat, or you can unmute and ask your question. If you have any questions, please feel free to unmute and ask, or go ahead and put it in the chat.
I have a question on editing text in a box.
Okay.
It has a frame around the text. I was able to type new text. How could I put a color behind the text in the shape of the box that it's inside of?
Right. So to do that, you actually have to add a shape to it. and then change the color of the shape. So we will talk about text next, I believe, and I can show you that. But that's a good question. Yeah, I get a little bit frustrated because I can't, a text box, you can't change the background color to a text box, but you can change the background color to a shape. So you would have to basically search the element for a rectangle or a square, and then drag that in, and then you can click on the box, edit the element, and change the color to that.
Okay, and move it to the back.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Can you hear me?
So there is a question about, can we make a Bitmoji? Oh, sorry, Joyce.
Can you hear me now?
You're still very muffled, Joyce. I'm so sorry.
Sorry about that. Okay, never mind.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Question in the chat, can we make a Bitmoji with this just like yours? So I had to upload the Bitmoji as a photo. So I use the Bitmoji Google extension. You do have to have a Bitmoji account or Snapchat account. Canva, if you have a Snapchat account, because Snapchat owns Bitmoji, you can attach that account in your apps. So on the left-hand column, there's an apps button, and you would select that, look for Bitmoji, and sign into your account, and then you could use your Bitmoji there. But I did not make this Bitmoji with Canva. I made it with Bitmoji. So, but I just pulled it in. So I don't have a Snapchat account. I just have a Bitmoji account, and it wouldn't let me sign in for some reason. So I ended up just downloading my Bitmojis that I liked and then uploading them into Canva. Okay, another minute. As you're doing that, you're editing all of your stuff. Let me know if you have any questions. And Joyce, if you're able to just write it in the chat, we could do it that way. I feel bad because I want to answer your question. So if you wouldn't mind putting it in the chat. Okay, 10 more seconds here. Okay, we are done with that. All right, so now that you've done elements, photos and images, let's talk about text. So, okay, so Joyce, sorry, there was another question in the chat. If you hit home, you should see your saved project. Go back to your home page, go ahead and reload the page, and it should show up in your recent designs. And it should be saved. Everything should be saved there. So hopefully that works for you. Let me know. Okay. So question was that, how did you design this timer box? So the timer box is a feature of the present feature. So here at the top blue bar that turns to purple, in the purple section on the right hand side, you have a present. This only comes up for presentations, right? So if I click present and I click the present full screen, present, then I can just type in a number 1 through 9, and it gives me the timer box. Those are all fun features of when you actually present with Canva, the presentation tool. Okay, so let me show first, because I want you to see I think it was Linda that asked. So here I'm going to pull in an element of a square. Okay. And I can pull it in like this. Okay. And I can arrange it how I want it. Maybe I want it over the text box. Okay. Now I can touch the color button at the top in the toolbar, and I can change now the color of that. And then I can send it to back by position. I'm going to send it to back, and then it looks like that. And then I can center my thing. So that's kind of how you have to do it in order to get the background color, unfortunately. That's the one thing. If I have to pick anything about Canva, that would be the one thing that I find difficult. But it gives you more designing kind of flair if you want different things. So the text tool, let's look at that text tool. So it will be the button, the tool on the left that says text. You're going to click or select it. You can search for different types of text. You can add a text box. You can add headings, or you can look at all the different font combinations that they have. Again, most of these are EDU, so you do want to make sure you create your account with your work email. But you have all of these things that you can add. So if I like this Good Vibes and I select Good Vibes, it shows up. I can adjust it with the circles, and I can change the colors by going up to the A up here and changing the colors depending on what I wanted. Okay. Now, let me go to the next one. So to move an existing text box, right? One that came with your template, you're just going to click on the text box once so that it's highlighted. Then you're just going to click and drag to move it wherever you want. So maybe I'll put it down here. Or maybe I'll put it up here, right? So you'll get to click and drag. Now, one of the things I want to show you is the formatting feature. So notice how when I move my box down, you have the line in the middle that says it's in the middle. Okay. If I wanted to put it in the middle, right, it would come up with those lines as well. Line and line there. I think that's where it was, right there. Okay. And then it has these numbers. You see the number 66 there. That means it's 66 between. So I don't know if they're in centimeters. They're not in centimeters, millimeters. I don't know what they're in. But when I know that it's 66 between all three, I know that it's even, right? So that's how I use it. I'm not very handy when it comes to those things.
Probably 66 pixels.
Thank you. I just see the numbers match and I'm happy. Woohoo, numbers match. So thank you, Linda. So to edit a text box, you're going to click twice into the text box, and notice how now I have my typing line. So I can type whatever I want in here, you know, or I can delete what's in here by clicking and dragging and highlighting and deleting and typing over and things like that. Okay. Now to create a new text box, you select the text tool, you search and scroll for whatever text you want. So maybe you want some fancy text. So it'll show you the different types of fonts that are fancy. So fancy. Or say you want maybe mathematical text. Oh, they don't have any mathematical text. So it is a hit and miss in terms of what you're trying to find. Now, if you just want to do this add a heading, and I'm just going to select it and it will show up. There it is, add a heading. And I can type in heading, right? And I can move it by going to the outer edges and having the four-headed arrow and moving it and clicking and dragging. Now, if you don't do that, you see how there's this arrow here? You can look at that. It goes back and forth like a pendulum. Okay, so I can go up here to my toolbar and I can look at the fonts. So these are all the fonts. I'm going to scroll down. There are so many fonts. It's crazy. So you can just have fun and check out each one. What does Monument look like? Again, the crown is the Pro. The graduation hat is the EDU. But notice that I was able to change it. Canva Pro. I was able to use it as an education person. There's that one. So you can change it all that you want. Okay. And you can edit it as you want. All right. So now let me delete that. There's my delete button. Okay. Text box editing option. So if I click it, you see the circles and you see the like rounded rectangle. This is how you would click and drag the size. Notice how when I click and drag the circle, it gets small. If I click and drag it to make it bigger. Okay. So this is the circle. These rectangles make it shorter or bigger, depending on how you like it. And then the arrows, like I said, will rotate the box. So you just click on it and drag it. Okay, here is your toolbar. So to edit the look of your font, like I showed you, you've got all of the different font styles. You have text styles too, which is meaning body, heading, so if how big you want it, but you can also do that by, again, clicking and dragging the circle. And you can use the toolbar at the top to change different colors. So if I wanted it blue, notice how it changes blue. And again, you have that change all function. So any black text within your entire presentation will turn blue. Okay. You also can make it bold. You can italicize, you can underline, you can make it uppercase, all in one shot. So you don't have to retype it, woohoo, okay, and lowercase. You have the alignment, you have the bullet points, and so you can do different types of bullet points depending on how many times I click. You see how it turns to 1, 2, 3, and so you can do it that way. And then you have spacing, letter spacing. So it makes it look kind of larger, like spread out. You can make it look really put together, okay? Or you can do the lines in between. Notice how, you know, like 2 or 1, depending on how you like it, okay? You can anchor your text box, you know, so that it always is at the top, always in the middle, or always at the bottom. Okay. Effects. So here are your effects. You're going to shadow. You can lift. And then usually sometimes when you do this, see the shadow at the bottom, it'll have the slide bars so that you can offset and see what it looks like. So if I like really offset so that the shadow looks deep, then I can do that. The direction of the shadow. So you can change the direction of the shadow, which is pretty cool, or you can blur it if you wanted it blurry, or make it more transparent if you do want to do it that way. Okay. So all of these, sometimes we'll have them and sometimes won't. It's a hit and miss. So you can play around with all that. Also, you have a shape thing at the bottom. So if you want it curved, it can look like that or none. Okay. Again, I'm playing with it. It's about playing with it, just getting to know it. And so if I want to go back to how it originally was, I'm going to use the undo button or Control Z and just click it until I find, hey, it's back to normal. It looks normal to me. And you can see come on. There it is. Oh, it's not black. I want it black. There it is. Okay. So that's how you do that. You can size it by decimal. So if I select this and I say I want it, let's see, 25.3, it will do that. Okay, I'm going to undo. And then the A is going to show you all your text colors. Okay, and then it can help you match your theme. Again, you can position it like I positioned the revise and edit in pixels. Transparent and copy style and all of that is still there for the text. Okay. To get rid of the box on the left, I just have to deselect effects and it goes away. Okay. All right. Again, to put the background on it, select an element. And you have many different elements. So you could do something like this. Oh, it's a magic recommendation, means it's an AI recommendation. And I'm going to do that. And I will click and drag to go over my. It's not going to let me make it bigger though, huh? So there are some things where I'm not able to. Oh, here's the freeform. So what I did to make it freeform is I double clicked. And then now I can make it bigger. It's not looking to like me make it bigger. Make it bigger. Nope, it's not going to make me make it bigger. Oh wait, nope. So I just have to find the size I want. Well, anyway, so I'm going to cancel that. But that's how you would do that. And then you would send it, you would position it to go backwards. And then, so you can double this one. So what I would do to make it fit is I would duplicate it. So I'm going to select it and I'm going to click the duplicate button. And then I would just put it here like that. So you see the line that makes it equal. And then again, I would position it to the back. And then that's what it would look like there. Okay. No worries, Lorna. Have a good day. Thank you. Okay, so now it's your turn to play. I will give you 5 minutes to add and edit your text or edit the text that's on there. So a lot of the templates actually come, let me show you with the pizza, right? So this is a background. And this is a background. So they layered the backgrounds so that you could see kind of, it makes it more fancy, right? So you can do things like this and just add the elements with the shapes, and then as well as go ahead and you can also group. So I don't know if you know this, you can group your words together. So if I clicked pizza and I also held my shift button and selected fractions, notice how now it has a group at the top here, the toolbar, the little toolbar has a group function. So if I group it, that means now it becomes one and not separate. And then I can also ungroup it and treat them separately. Okay, so you can do it that way. You can also do it with shapes. So notice I clicked let me click the pizzas, pizza, and I'm going to click my shift button to select pizza. Okay, and I can group the pizzas and now they'll go together. Oh, hey, I can group and the pizzas go together. Okay, especially if I got them right where I wanted them. To ungroup, just click ungroup. Okay, so now it's your turn. I'm going to go ahead and present the screen and I'm going to touch my number 5 to start the 5-minute timer. And this is your time to ask questions. If you have any questions, put it in the chat or go ahead and unmute and ask your question. Joyce, were you able to get your presentation back? I hope so. Okay. Background, we are going to talk about that, the audio part. And so I will show that to you when we get to uploading content. Because their audio database is not that huge and it's not that long. So, but I will show you how to do that in the uploading or the adding media content. You're welcome.
We have a question.
Okay, thank you. Alex, can you repeat what keys you press to group two elements, please? Yes, for sure. So let me start my phone timer. And I'll give you guys 3 minutes. Let me stop this. Okay, so say I want to group the question marks with my text box. So I'm going to select the text box. So when I hover over it, notice it has the lines outside of the text box, but when I select it, meaning I click on it, it then gives me the circles and the rectangles. That means it's selected. So now I'm going to hit my shift button, hold down the shift button, and click whatever I want to group. So I'm going to click the question marks or select the select the question marks, and now you'll see that the box pops open above it, and I'm going to select group. Okay, and now it's grouped together, and I can move them wherever I want together. And then I can ungroup them if I want. So it's basically selecting two things by using your shift button to select the second one, just kind of like how you do, I think Slides does it, Microsoft does it as well. Wonderful, Alex, thank you. There are things in the air making me sneeze. Sorry about that. Again, I want to reiterate, don't be afraid to make mistakes. Don't be afraid to play with it. Make it like a game. Make it, practice makes perfect. So the more mistakes you make, actually, the more you're going to learn Canva. So please, I know, Joyce, you said you lost yours, but I'm sure it's there somewhere. It might be just taking some time to come back. But to start over is like learning anew, right? So you're just learning more and more. And so I just encourage you guys not to be afraid of it and to just have fun and let your imagination kind of take you. And if you can't find it within Canva, we're going to talk about how to upload things from that you download from the internet or something into. Now, again, the licensing rights, you just need to make sure that you're able to use it. Okay, we have got about 10 more seconds. No more questions or anything you're curious about? How serious is licensing? So how serious? If you're using it for commercial purposes, so say like your education school, your school decides to run commercials on TV. If it's something that you pull off of Canva that has licensing, it can be serious, right? But if it's something that you're just presenting to your teachers or to your students, then you should be fine. But unknowingly, how much does it happen? I'm not sure. I've been using Canva for about 2 years and I haven't had an issue at all. So it just really depends. So, I mean, you can ask your district about licensing. I think they have we have what's called grants and communications, or whoever does your publicity, they should know more about licensing. So I just make sure that my pictures, like this one, you know, this is something that I pulled off of YouTube. It was a YouTube video that turned into a picture when I moved it into Canva. You know, that it was on YouTube, people see it, it was free. So I figured, hey, that should be Bitmoji. You know, I use it everywhere. I don't use it on any commercial things, but I use it on my presentations. So I wish I had a better answer for you, but I am not the expert. That's why I use this info button and look at the licensing if it had it. And anything that comes in from Canva, not my stuff, but whatever comes in from Canva. You should be fine if you're just using it for school purposes or, you know, work purposes, and it's not commercial use. Okay. Next, the draw tool. So this is their newest feature besides the AI features. It's basically drawing. So if you have a touch screen, you can draw with your finger, or you can draw with your mouse, or if you do drawing with your computer, you can use that pad with whatever special pen you have. I sometimes use the pen that has the stylus. It depends. I don't draw very much because I don't have the ability to like have a steady hand, but it's here if you like it. So let me show it to you. It's over here on the left-hand side. You would select your draw tool. So it's mirroring what I have on my slide and we're here. So 3 different drawing tools. You have your pen, which is very fine. So if you click the pen, it will draw a fine line. You have kind of the marker size, kind of like a Sharpie marker size. Then you have a highlighter, and then you have the eraser. And then you have this, which kind of takes you back to what the originals were. You have your color, whatever color you want for the pen marker. And then you have the settings, which is the weight of the pen. So it just depends. So for example, if I'm going to use it, say I'm presenting this on my smartboard and I'm showing the students this draw tool, then I'm going to select my pen. I can change the color of the pen. I'm going to change it to this green. I can change the settings and the weight, right? And you can do it by clicks or by what's pre-programmed. But if I just wanted to do it a little bit bigger, you can make it transparent or not. And now it's ready to draw. So notice how when I move it to the slide, it now has a pen. So I'm going to click and drag like that. Okay. Oh my gosh, such a horrible circle. I'm going to go ahead and erase it. It's a one-click erase. Okay, so you don't have to click and drag back and forth in order to erase it. Okay, so this might be something good. So here's my highlighter. The highlighter is not as highlighty, right? It doesn't have those neon colors, but it does work. So if I'm going to make it bigger. I'm going to make it 50. And I'm going to make it dark. So it's going to be the transparent is going to be. So now when I do that, I'm going to just click and drag over. Oh, now you can't even see the words. Okay. So then I can change the transparency. And drag it back over. Oh, I have to erase it first. Sorry. Erase it and now redo it. And now you can see that it does that. So that's a transparency of, what was it, 40? Okay. So you can do that. And then, of course, you have the marker works just like the pen, and then the eraser. Okay, so I'm going to give you a few minutes to just play around with that and continue playing with anything that we've already discussed. And again, this is like really quick. So instead of 5 minutes, if you don't mind, I'm just going to do 3 minutes. And then, yeah, if you have any questions again, please let me know. There are stickers. So the question in the chat is there a pointer that I could use while showing something on the screen? Now, there are stickers you can add to the screen, but not necessarily a pointer like you would. Now, in this presentation tool, so I'm presenting right now to you, I do have the arrow here. So here's 5 minutes. We will pause here for you to draw something on your slide, question mark, so you can see that. So when I'm presenting, it works. But if I'm just showing the slide, the normal slide like I showed you, you would have to like bring in stickers, or you would have to draw over it. I can show you the stickers as soon as I finish here. But it's basically like bringing in an element. So you would bring in, you would go to the stickers category. So element tool, stickers category, and then you would pull in a sticker to highlight whatever you're trying to show. Now, this is the presentation tool that you're seeing now, but when you're seeing me actually demonstrate the tools, I'm in Canva. So it's not like I'm presenting to you. You're seeing my slides and I can edit my slides in real time. While the presentation tool, you're actually just showing the slide presentation without any type of editing capability. If you're in Zoom, yes, you could use those tools to point. So if I'm, so what will happen is, so we're in Zoom right now and I'm actually sharing my screen, right? So just like if I had a Google slide and I presented with Google Slide, I present with Canva instead. It's just, you know, like Target or Walmart, which one do you like better? So, but like if I wanted to use the tools within Zoom, maybe I can annotate. So let me show you the annotate. So, so here is my, so I am using the annotation tools just in Zoom. So these are the annotation tools, so I can use a pointer in Zoom. So yes, so if you can see, can you, Ryan, hopefully you see the blue arrows, then yes, you can see the annotate. Perfect. Here's my eraser. Erase, erase. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and stop. Oh, I have to get rid of the annotate, hold on. Okay. Okay. Oh, the annotate's still there. Get rid of my annotate. It's still on the screen. It's okay. All right. So, oh, they're still there. Let me get rid of the annotate. Sorry. Erase. There you go. All right. So now we are getting to the add media content videos. Okay, so we are going to be using this upload feature. So it's add media content, videos, photos, GIFs, etc. So okay, let's talk about to find media content within Canva. Okay, so this is the Elements. Elements also has videos. So if I scroll down, it should have a video. Okay, let me do this. Click, oh, this is graphic. So it's searching within graphics right now. So you can see where you're at. If you look at the search bar, it says search graphics. So you're not at the main Elements page. So I'm going to select the back arrow, and now where it says search elements is your main page. So I'm going to click within the search box, and I'm going to click video. Or you can just type in video. Remember how specific I wanted you to make sure you put presentation at the end of your template keywords? You're going to do the same thing if you want a video. So video of making pizza. Okay, and then I'm going to hit enter or select enter. And you're going to want to select videos right under your search box. You're going to have a list, select videos. Okay. Notice that when you look at the videos, you have a time frame. So this video here is 10 seconds. This video is 22 seconds, right? And also, if I hover over it, it's going to play. So you can see kind of what it actually looks like. All right. Now, you can choose one of the videos by clicking or dragging it, and you select the corner or the slide rectangle to size the video just like you would do your element. Okay. So here is the video I pulled in. So I can pull in another video. Let me delete that video. And I want this video. Now this video, most of them don't have sound. So if I click on it, notice how I just selected it, clicked on it, and it became big. So now I'm going to size it by dragging the circle. Okay, and it gives you the width and the height. Can you see that? That's 623. So depending on how big you want it, and if you want to be more detailed, you can use that. And then when I play it, there is no sound. Okay, some of them have sounds. For example, to delete it, I'm going to go ahead and delete it. I'm going to bring in this one here, this 30-second one. You guys hear the static, the white noise? So some of them have sound. So you can't really tell. It doesn't show you a volume or anything on these. So you just kind of click and drag and see which ones have sound. You can again be more specific and say video with sound, or you can upload your own audio. So which I think we talked about earlier that I'm going to show you how to do. Okay, so let me go back to my pizza. Okay, so I just clicked on the video I wanted. I'm going to adjust the size with the circles and the rectangles. And now when the video is selected, you're going to have a toolbar, just like you did for your elements and your photos. You can edit your video. You can cut your video to less seconds or minutes, depending on how long your video is. You can look at the playback, crop it, flip it. So let me show you. So I'm going to click edit video. Again, you have the effects. So you can remove the background, which normally in a video I would not do. I wouldn't recommend that. But if you wanted it to pop out, yeah, you could. You have the different filters. So you can see all the different filters you have. Warm, notice how it changes. Look at the video, I'm changing it. Here's vivid, right? So you can change the look and color. You want black and white, okay? And then you click the back arrow to go back to where you were. And then they also have the intensity, right? So more intense, less intense. And then The next tab over, so the first tab was effects, the second tab is adjust. Again, this is in testing mode, but you can change the warmth. So if you take pictures or videos a lot and you kind of know all of this stuff, the lightness, the bright, the contrast, the shadows, the color, you can adjust it to how you want it. Okay, oops, I don't want filters. I want to go back to my original. Oh, I'll just do the undo button. Cool. Okay, that's undoing until I get to the none. Okay. So then let me select the video. If I go to the scissors that says 10 seconds, I'm actually able to snip the video to make it shorter. Now 10 seconds is already short, but say I just want 5 seconds, then I can decide to take it off the front or I can decide to take it off the back. How do I do that? I'm going to make sure I have the double arrow. I'm going to click and drag to the left until I see 5 seconds. Okay, and then I'm going to release. Now it will only be 5 seconds. And if I'm happy with that, up here at the top right under the share button is a done button. I will select that done button. If I want it longer, then I'll go ahead and I will make it 7 seconds instead. Okay, that's good. So I'm going to click done. Okay, then it goes back to your playback. Again, if I select the clip or snip, the whole 10 seconds is still there. So if I figured, nope, I want 10 seconds, I can go ahead and put it back to 10 seconds and click done. Okay, so you have that ability, even if you clip it, to unclip it or, of course, undo. Your playback, you have the video speed. Maybe I want it faster, right? So then you can do that. You can loop it forever. So as long as this is presenting or you're showing this, it will continuously play in presentation mode. Okay, so it has to be in presentation mode for it to play. And autoplay, which means that once you go to the slide, it will start on its own. So let me show you what that looks like. Okay, let me go here. So I'm going to the next, I'm going to show you, this feature is fun. I'm going to go to the next slide by using my unveil button. Ooh, and then okay, so it will play continuously. It's fast right now, and this is in present mode. From the middle, can I chop it from the middle is the question. Unfortunately, no, you cannot chop it from the middle. You can only chop it from the front or the back. If you want a video, like you'd have to pull in a video that you already edited, either with Camtasia or I use Screencastify to edit my videos. So yeah, do that. In present mode, they've got different effects. So I can show you guys that at the end. Hopefully we'll have enough time. Oh, it's already, oh, it's going to be 3. All right. I didn't go through enough. Let me continue. Let me, I'm going to continue because I want to show you this videos. To record your own video, you have an uploads tool, okay? And you can upload your own files, your own videos. Okay, here are some of the videos that I uploaded. Or you can upload from your computer, or you can upload from different Facebook apps, right? These are the ones that you can upload. So I attached my Facebook account by signing into Facebook through Canva, and these are all my personal pictures. And then you can upload, you can record yourself. So when I record myself, you can see that it has a record button. Right now, I don't have a camera because my camera is on Zoom. So to record yourself, all your cameras have to be off. So not in a Zoom, not You use the default mic. You can just do the camera. You can do a camera and the screen, or you can just do the screen. And then you would record yourself, right? So it's recording 3, 2, 1, and then you speak, and then you're going to go, okay, now I'm done. And then you can choose where you want to place it by selecting the slides at the bottom. Okay, I'm going to not save and exit. I'm going to go ahead and just exit the studio, but you guys can play with that on your own. I'm sorry, we're running out of time. We're only have 10 minutes left. So I want to get through. I don't want to overwhelm you, but I also don't want you to miss out. Okay, and you're going to have the slides at the end. So you can change the filters. There's certain filters on recording your video, change the shape of the video, mirror your camera, or turn off your camera. Okay, so this is a video that I recorded for myself. Hi, everyone. Right, and it's really short. And then you just show captions if you want it to read as well. Hi, everyone. Okay, so that was real quick. Okay, photos. How do you upload photos? So uploading is easy. So when you upload files, you can upload anything, images, videos, or audio. So images, any type of PNG, JPEG, HEIC. They've got so many, I don't know. It has to be lower than 25 megabytes, okay? Videos, you can upload videos. So this is 6.3, 10.5, so they're all small. And this is the GIF. So the GIF shows up here. So you can see what it looks like, my minions, right? And then there's audio. So if I wanted the audio, all I'm gonna do is click and drag, and notice how at the bottom, you have it now down here. So if I let go, it's now going to play, and it's located wherever I put it. So I can click and drag it. I can lengthen it instead to make it longer, depending on how you want to do that. Okay, so that is how you pull in audio. So if I do the elements audio, where's my audio? Do I do audio here? Yeah, audio. Graphics. Here's the audio. So here's happy whistling, right? So I would just do the same thing because I just searched for it, and I would put it somewhere in my thing. And you can hear it if I play. This duration here is where it plays your slides. So it will go. Okay, so that's how you do that. I'm going to go ahead and delete that for me. Okay. Where am I? I don't want duration anymore. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm rushing through. It's a lot of stuff. I don't want you to be overwhelmed. I just want you to be able to play with it and have fun with it. Okay. Uploading with Canva tools, the elements, the photos, the GIFs, just like you would any other element. You would, in your search element, click, go down to photos, look at all the photos, look at all the graphics, and you would do that. Bye, Lori. Or you can do GIFs. So if you type in GIF in the search element, it's going to give you this pop-up and use the GIF by Canva, Giphy, and you can use that. Just click use, and then you can pull in any type of GIF from and select. Okay, so you can do it that way. You can upload your own content like I showed you. So you would upload your file from your computer, or you can upload from Facebook. Okay, and then click and drag, or just click, right? So you would do it that way. and make sure that you pull in different sources. So if you have Dropbox, Google Drive, Google Photos, you can use anything from these apps here. Okay, so you have to connect each app by signing into it. If it doesn't connect, make sure that you check your pop-ups, that it accepts pop-ups, or you might have to do two-factor verification. So just so you know, there might be some troubleshooting you need to do. And some things might not show up depending. You might get an error message like this one about corrupt and unsupported files. Okay, frames. Do I have time? I think I have time. Okay, so frames are fun. I love frames because they automatically cut your pictures. So let me go to frames. So scroll down to frames or grids. You're going to select see all. You're going to choose a frame and grid you want and drag it into your slide. Okay, so I'm going to do that. I'll do this one. Okay, so I dragged it in, or you can click it in, and then you're going to go to your uploads. You're going to go to your images, and you will go ahead and click and drag into the frame. Notice how that when I moved it inside, I can let go. It actually cut it itself. The same thing will happen with frames that you, or pictures that you bring up in Elements. So let me bring up photos. So say I bring him in, and I can make him go like that. Okay. So that is all of that. Now, sharing your presentation, I'm going to give you the slides. So I'm going to put it in, let me get the link, copy. I'm going to put it in the chat for you so you can look at the slides and everything that we just went through. Again, I'm sorry that it took some time, but also the evaluation. So please fill out the evaluation. This will let them know whether to offer this again. Please fill out that evaluation. And that's all I have. I mean, I went really fast. I'm sorry. There's just a lot. So is there any last questions? Do we have enough time to do the share portion? Do you guys want to see how to share it real quick? It's on the slides are pretty detailed. So, okay, perfect. So up at the top right, the last button in the top toolbar that goes from blue to purple is your share button. So you're going to click share. And the best way to share your presentation is to do a view only link. The one that I put in there, the Canva link, is a view only link. It means that whoever you shared it with doesn't need to sign in. They don't need to have a Canva account. It's just going to pop up. So that is the best way to share it. But if you want to collaborate with others, okay, so you want to collaborate for people to edit, maybe a couple of you are doing a presentation, then you're going to want to add their emails here where it says people with access, add their emails and give them editing rights. Okay, you can also change the editing rights if you wanted them to. So for example, this is my other account. Right now I have editing rights, but if I click the down arrow, I can just say she can only comment or she can only view. Okay. So, and once I add people, I can add them really easily to the other presentations by just, so if this wasn't shared with myself, it would say not shared. And then all I would have to do is put can edit, and then it would share that way. And then you can also always download and share. There's so many ways to download. So you scroll down right here where it says download, And then you have different types of download: PDF, PowerPoint, video, a picture, a GIF, right? And so you have that ability to download onto your computer. Okay. Or you can present with Canva, which I showed you. So there are different things in Canva, like that reveal, right? The unveiling, the mic drop, there's drums, but you have to be in presentation mode. So we don't have time to go through that. Okay, so I think we got 1 minute left. Any questions left for me? Please make sure you fill out the evaluation. It's in the chat. All right, if there's no other questions, we'll go ahead and end for today. Thank you for being patient with me. Thank you for hanging in there till the very end. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to OTAN, support@otan.us.